Hello, today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a new model basic for radiomuseum.org. For details, you can also refer to the Radio Museum Handbook in section 11. So there are several steps involved. Here's a summary of some of the primary ones. I'll just put this here for your reference. The main thing is that we need to make sure that the manufacturer and the brand already exist. Then search to confirm that your model does not already exist. Both those two are true. Then you need to prepare, before you start this process, your photos and or schematics and documents, because you're going to upload these to your new model proposal at the end. And you should have at least one photo and at least one schematic or document page. I'll refer you to my earlier videos, how to format a picture, and I use the advanced version of that. It's a couple more steps, but it gives you the best quality image. Okay, so then from the home page of the radiomuseum.org, you're going to select Create New Model. And there's a lot of fields that will pop open there. There's only a few that are key fields that need to be filled in. That is the manufacturer, the brand, the model name or the model type, the start year, it's in 4 digits, what the uncertainty of that is, the category, wave bands, and then at the bottom you'll need to list references or sources about the information that you got for your proposed model. So don't guess at the information if you're not certain. The Radio Museum Handbook has more details in completing some of these fields. At the end we're going to upload photos, enter the schematics, and then at that point they'll be submitted and 2 model administrators will review, they'll make changes if needed, and then approve or reject your model proposal. If approved, the photo administrator will approve your photos, or schematic administrator if you have schematics. And then you'll receive an email either way. And then finally, if your model has been approved, go back and review any changes that were made by the administrators to help understand and learn how to accurately propose your next model. You might also pull up some sample models that are already existing of the type of radio you might have or device you might have. Take a look at how those were done, and that'll give you an idea as to what the fields are. Okay, so the radio I'm going to do is a Magnavox. It's a 1R1506. It's green, and I've already taken photos, and I've selected these 7 photos that I've formatted, and they are ready for upload in my RM Radio Museum folder. Let's take a quick look at the radio that I have here. Okay, it's a Magnavox. It's AM band only. It says solid state on the front, so that's the name we'll be using. It's in green, probably an avocado green. Okay, so then let's look at the inside view here. Now, one thing I noticed is this panel over here looks like the blank panel behind this looks like this is also ready for a clock module. So there might be a clock motor version of this. And let's take a closer look at the circuit board here. Okay, here's the model 1R1506/07. So the 1507 is probably the clock radio version. Now I've counted 7 transistors here. I've got a magnifying glass, and I've written down the part numbers of these 7, and we'll need those to enter into the data. The speaker is a round. It's a permanent magnet type speaker. There's only 2 wires going to the voice coil, and this is a 2.5-inch diameter speaker. We'll need that information as well. And let's look at the label. Okay, the label, it's a 1R1506, color's green. It's 5 watts, 120 volts, 60 hertz. And it's made in Singapore, so we'll need that information too. Alright, let's go ahead and open up radiomuseum.org. Okay, so here's the home page. Now to find out whether your manufacturer or brand exists, it's the second one here. I'm pretty sure Magnavox is here, but we'll go through the steps. So here it is, and let's type in Magnavox. There. Okay, there they are. There's 5 of them here. This is the one we'll be using for this model. So it's the USA version of Magnavox. Alright, so the manufacturer exists, brand. Alright, let's see if the model exists. And so let's type in Magnavox. Now I'm not going to type in the 1R 1506 because maybe that's an IR. And so I'm just going to use the base model number, so 1506, and let's see if any Magnavox has those 4 numbers in it. Okay, so there is none. No results are found. So there is no 1506. Well, let's take a look and see if there's a 1507 clock radio version. And there it is. It's a 1R 1507. And where the blank panel is, here's where the clock module is inserted. Same radio. Let's see what they've got for their data fields. Okay, so they've estimated 1965, double question mark. That means there's no, it's just a guess. And that's probably within the band of mid-60s to mid-70 would be the avocado green time period. So 65 is not an unreasonable guess. Semiconductors present. We now know it's transistors. Super heterodyne common. Sounds right. Broadcast only, AM. Alternating current. This sticker said 117 volts. Mine says 120. Permanent magnet. Dynamic loudspeaker is correct. Plastic. No Bakelite or Catalan. And they've got a table model with a clock alarm, which this is, the clock radio. Dimensions 10 inches by 4 by 4. And then here are the notes for this one. And we're going to copy that, I think, and paste it into our notes, and then we can edit that. So we might as well start with that. Okay, let's pull up another Radio Museum page. Okay, home page. All right, so we're ready to start creating a new model. Here it is right here on the front page. Create new model. Okay, so there's the form. All right, manufacturer, Magnavox. Okay, model name, solid state. Got it. And then a 1R 1506 there. Year, 1965. Sounds okay. I don't have any, it's only a guess. If it's certain, you'd click this one, and then in which case you'd have to have a corroborating a statement or evidence document down in the later part of the form. I'll show you where that is. We don't have that, and so we're just going to do only a guess. Okay, category, and let's see, this is going to be a broadcast receiver right here at the top. Post-World War II. Tuner. Main principle, this is the super heterodyne common. See, there's a lot of different ones available here. So you can see that there's thousands of combinations of all of these pull-down menus and all these entries, and we can't possibly go through all of them, so I'll just do this very simple model. Okay, the IF frequency is not given, but for this year they're all going to be 455 kHz. The audio frequency stages, if I had the schematic, I'd put these numbers in. Is probably 2, and the number of AM tuning circuits, probably 5. I don't have the schematic, so I'm not going to put those in. I'm not going to guess. I don't know what the wattage is on the speaker, power out to the speaker, so I'll leave that blank also. Okay, now the wave bands. We want to put something here. If you've got a record player or a tape recorder or CD or something like that, you just put select without, no bands. Ours is the broadcast band only, so I'm going to select that one. And nothing on those two. Power supply, it's going to be AC. Power supply. And our sticker says 120. You don't put volts at the end of that. It's going to be automatically added here at the end. I could, in front of this, put 60 Hertz. I'll just leave it at 120. Okay, loudspeaker. This is going to be a permanent magnet, and it's a round one, which is the first one. If it's elliptical, it's the second one. So let's do this one. It's the round one. And 2.5 inches is what I measure. Okay, material. Plastic. It's not Bakelite. It's not Catalan. Shape. Okay, let's look at them here. I could use the table model with any shape. That's just a general purpose one. Here's the clock alarm one for the clock radio. It's not that one, but I'm gonna go down here and use this one here that says tabletop without push buttons, up to 14 inches. So let's select that one. Okay, now I measured 9 3/4 inches, so I'm going to put that in here, and I measured 4 by 4, and that's in inches. There. Okay, there's no tubes, so leave that one blank. there are transistors, and the quantity of transistors, that's 7. And you always enter these from the antenna input all the way through your IF stages, all the way to your output, your audio output on the right. Okay, so this one is going to be a 2 SC460, and I've already got the sequence down here in my past history here, so I just select on that, and there they are. There's 7. Okay, now down here in the notes, we already know there's a clock version of this. So let's say the clock radio version is the Magnavox 1R1507. Okay, now let me show you how to add a link so we can link straight to that page, that model page, if somebody wants to. So we'll highlight this. I held down the shift key and then backspaced over here. That's highlighted. And then this is the link icon here. Okay, so it's looking for a URL. So let's go back to the clock radio page. Here it is. Go up here to the address, double click that a couple of times to get the HTTPS, get the full address, URL, and do a Control-C copy. Come down over here and do a Control-V paste there, and there's the URL for that model. Okay, and then click OK. Alright, so now you'll notice that anywhere in here, there's another icon that shows up next to the link icon. This is an unlink icon. If you've accidentally put up the wrong link here, you can break the link right here, and then go back and highlight it, and then click this one again, and then enter the correct URL. Alright, and then anywhere outside here, you'll see that second one goes away, because there's no link anywhere but just in these phrase right here. Alright, so there's that. Now let's go back. Let me put a space in there. Let's go back to this and let's grab the notes here from the other model. So do a highlight, hold the left mouse button down and drag it, and then do a Control-C copy. Let's go here, and then we'll do a Control-V paste, Control-V. Alright, let's fix the name up here. Okay, it's not an alarm clock anymore. Okay, it's an AM radio model 1506. Alright, now what I like to do is to highlight this. Hold down the shift key, backspace it, one way to do that. Select that, and then let's make that bold. It just makes it stand out a little bit better. Now I'm going to do a shift enter and put an extra space between there. Okay, the color of this one is green. Probably avocado green. The power consumption of this one is only 5 watts. That one's 10 watts because it's also driving the clock motor. Okay, now the made in goes at the very end of your notes here. Okay, so then let's do a shift enter right at the end of this to put a space there. And let's put an enter there. And let's paste Control-V. Alright, now I don't like to put the periods at the end of these made ins, so I just take the period off, highlight that, want to make that bold so it stands out in the comments. And that's the very last line here in our comments. Now I'm going to make an error here, a typo error. I'm going to take out this O, and I'll show you how to go back and make a correction. Alright, so there's our comments. The weight, I measured it, is 1.6 pounds. There's the decimal point here, and then 6 here. And this is pounds decimal. I don't have any price information. I couldn't find an advertisement or a catalog or anything, or no schematics, so these are left blank. If, like I mentioned before, if I said the date was certainly 1965, and I'm certain, you have to put that information here, the source, as to why you say that is. You know, 1995 or 1965, Popular Science advertisement, page 25, you know, new Magnavox 1R 1506 radio, something like that. Or a catalog, or maybe a schematic, or something that's definitively you can say this is a 1965 model. All right, and then the explanation where we got this data. And I'm just going to say info from my radio. Okay, now let's click the go down here. So this is not submitted yet when you do this. This is just so you can proof it. See if there's any errors that you want to go back and correct. Okay, we don't need to select this one yet until we're ready to do a final submittal. Okay, so model name solid state, 1R1506, model type, year 1965, double question mark means it's just a guess. It's a broadcast receiver, super heterodyne common. The IF is 455. Waveband is broadcast only. AC, 120. Permanent magnet, round, is 2.5 inch diameter. Materials plastics, not Bakelite or Catalin. And this is a shape of a table model without push buttons, mantle, midget, compact, up to 14 inches. And dimensions I have are 9 3/4 wide, 4 high, 4 deep inches. There's 7 transistors, and here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now these 2 are audio transistors. This is an audio driver transistor to the speaker, and this is probably the first stage audio. So it's probably a 2-stage audio up here in the AF, and that's probably a 5 for the AM number of tuning circuits. But I don't know for sure. I don't have the schematic, so I'm going to leave those blank. Okay, here's our comments in the notes. Magnavox solid state AM radio model 1R1506. That's good. Cabinet color is green. Power consumption 5 watts. And clock radio version is the Magnavox 1R1507. Okay, so there's a typo right here. Now I can't fix it here. I have to go back. Okay, to wait. So the only thing wrong with this is a typo right here. Alright, so we can fix that just by hitting the back button. Okay, here's all the fields again. You can correct or delete anything here. Let's put the O back in Singapore. Alright, then let's go down here and say OK. We got an O there? Yes, okay. Then go. Okay, there we go. And down here, now we got the correct spelling for Singapore, made in Singapore. Now, if your radio, this radio, the manufacturer, when I selected up here, when you click that, everything that every manufacturer that had Magnavox in the word title somewhere will show up. And ours is going to be the USA Fort Wayne plant. So that one. Now, if this radio was manufactured in the United States, you wouldn't need to put made in USA here. It's from that would be up here. It's already identified as a USA model. If it's not made in the USA, then you put down the made in down here. Made in Japan, made in Singapore, whatever it says on the radio. Okay, that looks good. 1.6. Okay, everything looks great there. So now when I click the go button here, that has now been submitted. Okay, so you have the chance to upload pictures or schematics here. We have some pictures. Let's do that. Let's maximize this window. And you can go to my other video, how to upload a photo, and it's the very same procedure here. We have 7 to upload. Okay, so let's choose here, and I've already drilled down to the folder right here where this is. Okay, here's 7. And you want to start with the front view. Here, and it's my radio. It's the front view, so we'll do this one. Image quality, very good. And I don't have any notes to add to that. Okay, it's spinning up here, so it's now being uploaded. Okay, let's upload more. Okay, let's choose a chassis view here. And my radio, and let's go down to chassis here. It's the PCB original. There's no restoration, and it's a very good photo. Send it. Okay, waiting for the internet. Okay, there it is. There's 2, 5 to go, and so this one we'll choose the back view. Fine, and then back wall original. Very good. Neutral background. Send it. 3. And then 4. So these are kind of the 4 basic ones that you'd want to have. The front, like chassis view, the rear, and the label. So let's choose the label. That's kind of the 4 minimum photos. It's nice to have. And this is called model label now. Here. And very good. Send it. Okay, that's 4. We got 3 to go. Okay, now let's do the remainder of the any outside views we've got. And I've got one here. This is the bottom view. So let's do that one, and let's pick bottom here. And image quality is very good. Alright, bottom view. Okay, that's the last. That's 5. There's 2 left. Both are inside. One's a speaker. Okay, so let's do the inside view, which is this one. And let's find it. Let's see, back wall. Let's see, here it is. Open back or inside view. And it's very good. And then the last one's going to be the speaker. Okay, upload it. And let's go down here. We'll find the speaker. Here. Mine. And there's a speaker. Here it is, down here. Speaker. Very good. Okay, so there's the 7. Let that finish up. Okay, so 7 here. Okay, and that's the order that I've uploaded them. So we're done. So let's close this. Alright, and so you could do another model. If you have schematics, you could upload here and do the same thing. Let's go to the home page, and I'll show you where to find your proposed model now. Go down to Community, and over here, the pending models. So these have been submitted, and they're pending approval, alteration by administrators. The first section is the suggested changes to an existing model, oldest at the top, the newest at the bottom. And then here's the proposal for the new model. So ours is probably the latest one, the newest one. So it's at the bottom. And here it is. Solid State 1R1506. And there's me. And you can look at it. Just click on the show. Now you can't make any changes as a member. Only the model administrators can do that. But here is your model. And there are 7 pictures assigned to this model. 7 we uploaded. Now if you have forgotten, or if you've got some additional pictures or schematics, you can do this. You can go into here like I just showed you, and you can actually go and add additional pictures here, or add an additional schematic here, and they'll be attached to this proposal as well. So in case you forgot or you need to add something else, you can do it in here also after you've already submitted it. Alright, so there's everything we've entered. At this point, the model administrators will go through and look this over and make any corrections or revisions, and then accept it. Or they may reject it for some reason or other. If there's already an existing model that you forgot to check for, it'll be rejected. Now you can go back up here to overall review of all models. Okay, that's all there is to it. It's not really that difficult. It really helps if you gather your information before you start that process. And then you'll have it written down somewhere, and you just have to look at your notes, put it into the data fields. All right, this concludes the demonstration of how to create a new model basic.